Audi, one of Germany's most well-known luxury automotive companies out there today. From the baseline A models up to the exotic Audi R8, Audi has a car that can work for almost anyone's situation. Throughout the years, Audi has developed and innovated new technology to enhance their lineup, and doing so has birthed many sub-brands for the automaker. The most powerful and performance-oriented division is the RS brand, and has led the way in engineering and performance for Audi. But guys, where did this division actually come from? And what car spawned the birth for the RS division? Well, that car is called the Audi RS2, and today we are going to be learning all about this beautiful car. Built off the Audi 80 Avant platform, Audi and Porsche turned up the performance and made a masterpiece that would cement the RS name for years to come. So if you want to own the original RS-inspired grocery getter, then join me guys as we dive into all you need to know about the Audi RS2 Avant. For all of you who don't know me guys, my name is Andrew and welcome to all you need to know about the Audi RS2 Avant. If you guys are new to the channel, like always guys, go down below, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. It would help place the video higher in the YouTube algorithm and just show to me that you guys are all enjoying this content so we can keep creating videos like this for you in the future. Well, we're changing things up today guys. Instead of talking about Volkswagen, which we have done in the last basically 12 episodes, we are going to be talking about Audi. Yes, we are staying in the Volkswagen family, but I figured it'd be time to switch up the brands and let's go for something new for this video. In the mid-1990s, Audi was pushing the limits of high-performance road-going cars, and doing so, they realized that making a new performance sub-brand would be the best way to go about it, leading to the birth of the Audi RS lineup. The Audi RS brand, which stands for Rennsport, in English literally translates to a racing sport. So as you guys can tell, the name basically describes what the whole brand is about, racing. If you are looking for a high-performance sports car that is perfect for everyday use, then you guys have come to the right place. So without further ado guys, let's see why the RS2 was built in the first place. So let's first start with the truth, why Audi created the RS brand. And to be honest with you guys, I bet very few of you know this. In 1991, Audi created the beautiful two-door Audi S2 and S4 sedan. Both of these cars sold incredibly well for Audi and showed that they could compete in a high-performance luxury car market. The part that many of you may not know about is a small company called Schmitz Motorsports took the Audi S2 and S4 and created their own upgraded high-performance variant of the car called the S2 and S4 Revo. Surprisingly, the Schmidt Revo built Audi S2 and S4 were selling incredibly well, which prompted Volkswagen to ask Schmitz Motorsports if they could borrow one of the Revo conversion cars. Of course, Schmitz Motorsports complied with the request due to their very close relationship with the brand. Schmitz Motorsports helped design and build the Mark III Golf A59, and they also own their own Volkswagen dealership. So for them, it made sense to comply with them at that time. Soon after obtaining the car, Volkswagen shipped the car off to Porsche and work began on creating the new revolutionary platform brand for Audi. Sadly, the creation of the RS brand destroyed Schmitz Motorsports' Revo project. Surprisingly, Schmitz Motorsports did not go after Audi with legal action, and probably it was a smart move by them not to go after them. Audi and Volkswagen has worked in the past with Schmitz Motorsports on high performance projects, and over time they did benefit from getting other future specialty projects from the brand. Now yes, Audi may have used Schmitz Motorsports' idea to make a high performance brand, but the RS2 was a perfect combination of Audi design and Porsche engineering to make a remarkable first impression for this new RS brand. In 1994, the RS2 went into production and helped redefine the Audi brand forever. As mentioned above, the Audi RS2 was built off the Audi 80s estate shell, which then was shipped to Porsche for the mating of the beautiful 2.2-liter 5-cylinder 20-valve turbo engine. Now, this car was incredibly fast for its time, and I'll explain what I mean by this in the next section. The overall styling of the Audi RS2 was clean and modern, but it had a sleek performance aspect of the car that you could tell that there was something special about this car. The Audi RS2 took the practicality you would find in a wagon and implanted the performance of a sports car. You could get the best of both worlds with this car, a fast performance car that you can still go and get groceries, say, after a track day. The Audi RS2 was only produced for 16 months, sending out the Audi 80 platform with a bang. In total, 2,891 RS2s were built, which was a few more than planned for. Audi originally only planned to make 2,200 RS2s. If you are able to purchase a right-hand drive Audi RS2, you have the rarest option with only 180 being built. As you can see, the demand was strong for the Audi RS brand, exceeding expectations, which would cement the brand for future models. What makes the RS2 the RS2? Well, besides the point that this was the first RS car ever built, this car was incredibly fast for a 4-door wagon. So under the hood, like I mentioned above, the RS2 came with a 2.2-liter 20-valve 5-cylinder engine that output 315 brake horsepower and 302 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 6-speed manual all-wheel drive quattro transmission, this car could do 0 to 62 miles an hour in under 5 seconds and reach a top speed of over 163 miles an hour. By today's standards, this would be about the same performance numbers as a Porsche Cayman S with a PDK transmission. Pretty nuts, I say, for this kind of time period. If you guys think that is crazy, now you guys should listen to this. AutoCare did a 0 to 30 mile an hour run in just 1.5 seconds, which outpaced the McLaren F1, the fastest car they tested to this point. AutoCare also stated that the Audi RS2 will keep pace with a Ferrari 456 most of the way through a quarter mile. This is due to basically the gearing in the transmission and also the forced induction and how it's brought on with the turbos. They stated that 40 to 60 miles an hour in third gear took 2.8 seconds, 60 to 80 miles an hour in fourth gear took 3.6 seconds, 80 to 100 miles an hour in fourth gear took 5.1 seconds, 100 to 120 in sixth gear took 7.7 seconds. That's pretty crazy accelerations for this time. The biggest downside to this crazy acceleration was how hard the turbos hit and boost, which led to some huge turbo lag. The turbos would spool up at around 3,000 RPMs, and once they finally hit, damn, this car really boogied, guys. The Audi RS2 cars have been known for having pretty numb steering over the years, and the RS2 is no exception to this. It's hard for drivers to actually get a feeling of what the front of the car is actually doing, which many enthusiasts find disappointing when you're talking about, say, a high-performance car like an RS2. You really want to feel and engage what's going on with the front of the car. The nicest part of the RS2 is the ability to be civil one moment and then the next moment knock your socks off with the acceleration of how fast this car really was for the time. The RS2 can also get pretty good fuel economy, around 16 miles to the gallon city and 26 miles to the gallon highway. But to be honest, who's really driving this car easy? Everyone's going to be pushing this car as hard as they can to really get the full enjoyment out of it. The RS2 was the perfect first car the brand could have introduced, and the love and affection that it received to this day just showed how much people really enjoyed and how well this car was received when it first was introduced. What are the RS2s selling for? So the Audi RS2 is probably up there for most petrol heads as a car that you must own one day. If you want to get your hands on one of these, now you're going to need to shell out a lot of cash to get this car imported into the US or purchase one of these cars in general. Looking on Bring a Trailer, the last two RS cars to sell in the US went for $77,777 with 93,000 miles on the car, and the second car went for $61,000 with 70,000 miles on that car. These cars do not come up for sale often in the US, but when they do, people bid like crazy for them. If you want to import an RS2 into the US, the prices can range between $65,000 all the way up to $85,000 just to purchase the car. When you actually then get the car purchased and want to import it into the country, you're going to have to pay for import fees, taxes, and other duties on that car to get it into the country. That few extra $1,000 shouldn't really break the bank, so should definitely be just another thing to consider when purchasing the car. I personally think that the RS2 will continue to go up in value over the next few years since they are finally now legal to be imported into the US as of 2019. With the limited number of just RS2s produced worldwide, now with US buyers buying the cars up and bringing them into the country, there's going to be fewer available in Europe overall, which should one, drive up the value of the cars in Europe, and then also drive up the values of the cars now in the US because they're finally legal to bring into the country. I don't know, that's my thoughts, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think these cars will keep going up in value? I'd love to hear what your opinion is in the comment section down below. Modifications. The RS2 is a pretty rare car, as you may all know by now, but this hasn't stopped people from modifying them in the past. Probably the most common modifications for this car would be upgraded intercoolers, turbo manifolds, a bigger turbo, upgraded fuel systems, and coilovers on the car. This will help basically get as much performance as possible out of the car and make it even faster than it was from the factory. Many of these cars are currently still in Europe since the US has just gotten the ability to import many of these cars into the country. So for years, we're probably still going to see many stock RS2s in the US, especially as their values keep going up. The RS2 does come with a bunch of power from the factory, so many people don't really feel the need or want to really go ahead and modify these cars. Obviously, with their values also going up, it could hurt the value of the car. Personally, for me, I think the RS2 looks and performs perfectly from the factory, with basically very little or no work needed to really improve the car from what you would receive just stock from the factory from 1994. So, the Audi RS2, an absolute performance machine, and if you can financially swing this car, you should highly consider purchasing this. I bet you will not regret the purchase of this car. This car had all the right elements, stunning looks, crazy performance, and the side of practicality. The RS2 really showed that Audi and Porsche knew what they were doing when it came to making this kind of high performance car. Still, I find it crazy that Audi took that concept of the RS brand from Schmidt's Motorsports, this crazy idea to package more power into an already pretty powerful S2 and S4 and rebranding it as the Revo showed that there was a market for even a higher performance luxury car that Audi could capitalize on. The RS2 was the first car Audi ever branded as the RS model. It has stood the test of time, showing that this high performance luxury car could outperform the fastest production car in the world at that time and still compete with high performance sports cars today. The RS2 will probably live on as one of Audi's most famous RS cars ever built and will always hold a special place in enthusiasts' hearts. I hope you all enjoyed this look into the Audi RS2. If you all enjoyed this video, like always guys, go down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. If you all want to see more All You Need to Know episodes, let me know in the comments section down below which cars you would like me to do and what brands you would also like me to cover. Everything is welcome here on the channel. I love to hear what you guys are interested in overall. Until next time, guys, my name is Andrew. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.